Hi everyone, I'm Matt. I know I haven't done anything in a while. I'm kind of trying to find places to talk about. So if you have any ideas, please let me know in the comments below. Also, I saw the new Conjuring movie. Me, I loved it. I loved it. Everything about it. Especially the ending. Like, if you all haven't seen it yet, I'm not going to say anything, but it was fantastic, and I agree with what people were saying. It is better than to me, it is better than the first three movies, but I love them no matter what. I mean, Ed and Lorraine Warren, but, nothing has been going on paranormal wise in a long time. So I think this calmed me down. But with that being said, I did find a few places. Excuse me. And this is one of them. Nothing so scary like an abandoned insane asylum in Texas. The White Sanatorium, known to locals as the Old Insane Asylum, sits off the California street in Wichita Falls. The Haunted Insane Asylum first opened in 1926 under the direction of Frank X. White. Frank was formerly the superintendent at the Austin State Hospital and wanted to open another asylum which championed a more humane view towards the mental health. White thought that the facilities should resemble a home more than a prison. The White Sanatorium opened as a more pleasant place for the mentally ill to exist despite the Texas Asylum practicing controversial procedures such as electrical shock therapy and lobotomies. During the 15 years it sat vacant, the White Sanatorium became a well-known hangout. Teenagers used the sanatorium as a place to party, and ghost hunters came looking for signs of the paranormal. Throughout the decades, locals kept hearing the same stories. The apparitions of mentally ill patients in hospital gowns, the glowing ends of ghost cigarettes floating in the air, and the voices of disembodied children. Many have also seen lights on throughout the windows of the building, even though there hasn't been power for over 50 years. In 2008, several paranormal investigators, along with a journalist, entered the building looking for evidence of the paranormal activity. They recorded loads of paranormal interactions, including EVPs, and the recordings of unusual voices. Frank S. White was a superior at the Austin State Hospital in the early 20th century. While working at the hospital, he became emboldened by the facility's emphasis on proper treatment for the mentally ill. Instead of exorcisms, banishment, and stigmatizing of the 19th century, the asylum movement was seeking to provide care for the mentally ill and ease them back to the normal mode of life. After leaving his post at the Austin State Hospital, White opened his own asylum, the White Sanatorium. While the White Sanatorium modeled after his state hospital in the White aimed to denotorize mental health care, he wanted to provide mentally ill with a pleasant place to live, which aimed to remove the weight of being an insane asylum from the backs of his patients. hoping to ease the recovery. The White Sanatorium was meant to be more like a residence operation to an institution, and a number of activities were provided for the patients to stimulate their minds, instead of being confined into a single room for most of the day. Patients were free to roam the halls of the sanatorium. They had communal living room, a library, and a card table. The facility was relatively modern and humane for its first time. The facility still performed controversial experiments on the patients, especially those who acted out. Electroshock therapy was common. Electrotherapy is also called today and uses many seizures and attempt to provide relief from mental disorders. Many say that it does more than harm than good, leaving the patients traumatized and sometimes causing damage to the heart and brain tissue. The White Sanatorium also performed lobotomies and barbaric practice, which tried to cure mental disorders by drilling a small hole into the patient's skull. Most of the patients who received lobotomies were left with severe brain damage and completely unable to function in any normal activity. Those who were lucky enough to not end up a vegetable were rendered emotionally blunt and trance-like state. A high percentage of these patients committed suicide. Frank S. White only ran a sanatorium for 5 years before an illness overtook him to retire. The asylum stayed open under a different directors until the 1950s. A major storm hit the area and caused heavy flooding, damaging the building, closing it for good. The White Sanatorium fell into despair, and this became known to the locals as the Old White Insane Asylum. Like most abandoned buildings, ghost hunters, vandals, urban explorers, and adventurous teens were drawn to the sanatorium for a thrill. Most of them found what they were looking for. The White Sanatorium was recently purchased and renovated. The Haunted Insane Asylum has since been repurposed as an apartment building. When I read this, I was like, why would you want to stay in a building that could be clearly haunted due to what happened there, and then now an apartment? Honestly, for me, I kind of want in a heartbeat, but I have seen videos and TV shows and all of that with the potential of them being an insane asylum, well, abandoned, and the paranormal in most of them did not end well. I mean, it ended well because they got out of there, but they got hurt, they got scratched, they got bitten. I'm like, yeah, do I really want to mess with that? Insane asylums are known to be haunted, and White Sanatorium has an especially high concentration of ghosts and paranormal phenomenon. Most of the town of Wichita Falls is familiar with the old insane asylum, and just about everyone has certain stories. Many have seen ghosts of a woman dressed in all white roaming in the halls. Why is it always a woman in white? Let me notice that it's either a woman in white or a woman in black. I'm gonna change it up a bit, and my spirit will be called the woman in pink. Drivers claim to have seen her on multiple occasions in the windows. The apparition from the patients has also often been seen. They clearly are mentally ill and always in hospital grounds. Quite a few died at the White Insane Asylum due to experimental procedures. Not- Notably, the lobotomies and electroshock therapy. It is believed that these apparitions are in these dead insane asylum patients. The Old Texas Haunted Hospital allows the patients to smoke inside, as many places did at the time. Witnesses say that they had seen the glowing ends of a cigarette butts floating in the air. These ghost cigarettes are mostly common seen around the card table. The accompanied by the shadows of strange men. Abandoned asylum has the abandoned asylum hadn't hadn't had running water or electricity for 50 years. Yet yet witnesses and passerbys have seen lights on the building. Others have witnessed hearing running water flowing through the basement pipe. An eerie symphony is cascading liquid that quickly reminds all brave enough to enter the exact enter of where exactly they are. In 2008, a group of paranormal investigators, along with TV reporters, decided to dive into the mysteries of the White Insane Asylum, Sanitorium. Armed with audio recordings, EVPs, a TV camera, and multiple smaller cameras, like Ed and Lorraine. The crew went for themselves to see the terrors that lie in the haunted Texas asylum. Within minutes of entering, the entire team's electronics went down. Reporting mostly static in these areas, and the crew felt a cold spots and strong gusts of air. In the library especially, the crew had strong EPP readings. Despite not being any children present, the crew had heard children-like voices, which were picked up on the audio recorder, and also conversations in the library of the haunting insane asylum. Investigations of the crew also felt strong feelings of being watched, and a general sense of heaviness and uneasiness while in the building. Yeah, with everything that goes on in insane asylums back then, I would not be surprised if heavy feelings and emotions the ringer through you. If that's the right phrase to use. But I know this is a short video. I might add something at the end of this because that one was even shorter. But I don't know. It's a picture I've caught in Gettysburg last year. Yeah, last year. So anyway, thank you guys for watching my channel and videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I am Haunted Girl, and this is my channel. The paranormal is my playground. And until next time, pleasant dreams.